Okay, hi Devendra.
Hey, hi.
Okay, so hello everyone. We are doing this talk today with Devendra. Devendra is working in IT sector and he is right now in Berlin. And I just thought of discussing with him that what is the condition of IT sector, and mainly I want to understand from him the employability age factor, which means that for how long people in IT sector can expect to work, like when they will retire. Can they expect themselves working till 60 years? Generally, when we talk about retirement, that at what age people are retiring, we say that people will retire at 60. But is it true for IT sector? So, what is the condition and what are the factors in play? I just want to understand that from Devendra. So, what are your initial reactions, Devendra, on that? When someone says that, like when we also work with a lot of IT clients, there are a lot of clients which we have who are from IT sector, and we plan their financial goals, etc., the retirement and all these things. And a lot of times we have to set the target age, right? Target date, sorry, for their goals. So what should be the target age for their retirement? Should it be 50? Should it be 45? Should it be 60? How do you see all this? So over to you,
So,
Devendra.
retirement age, at least when I plan for my retirement, I consider it to be 55 because I feel 50 is sort of very aggressive.
Okay.
60 is sort of impractical, I feel, as you said, like for IT sectors, 60 will be sort of too much.
Mhm.
And if we look at the recent trends, like so many, fresh graduates coming every year in IT sector,
Yeah.
I think it will be hard to continue that longer, especially at least in the Indian market. If you look at,
Yeah.
because our market right now is dominated by the IT services,
Mhm.
and which
So
is
are you
very
so are you saying that you are mainly talking for services company and not for product companies? Are you
so.
saying that?
Maybe I will try to cover both. So. IT services are mainly, price sensitive, and that's why they have this major impact of, experience level. I would say, if you even, casually look for any job search, you will notice that, 3 to 5 year experience or 5 to 8 year experience is like the most wanted. Bracket of experience, but hardly there will be any positions open for, let's say, 15 years experience. And right now, like when I had like right now I have about 13 years of experience, but when I moved higher to like 10 plus years experience, I noticed like I'll be slowly going to sort of danger zone where now there will be like less demand for my skills or my experience level, and I need to do something extra to be relevant in the industry. I
Yeah.
mean, if you just go by the default channel, then there is a high chance that someone might become irrelevant for the industry. Even if you look at the trends, like these new technology comes every year. So maybe what was relevant 10 years ago, if
Yeah.
you are still working with the same technologies, you may or may not remain relevant. It depends on how much in depth you are into that technology.
Yeah.
Some technologies, even like some very legacy technologies, are still getting used in some projects. So that's totally
So,
true. But if you look at the overall high level, I think if it will be hard, like when you are like 3 to 5 years experience, it's easy to learn new technologies. But someone who is like 13, 15 years experience, uh, it becomes saturation, like there is sort of some inertia to learn new things, and then it becomes very challenging
so
for people to adapt to new technologies.
I want to understand how has it changed over years? Like you have 13 years of experience. So right now we're in 2020 and you started somewhere in 2007, right?
Mhm.
I'll tell you something very interesting. I started my career in 2007, exactly 2007. And if you don't know, I also started from IT sector. Do you know that?
Yeah, I think I looked at your
I worked,
LinkedIn.
I worked,
Yeah.
I was Yahoo Bangalore was my first
Mm-hmm.
company, and I also started exactly the same time in 2007. So I worked for three and a half years, and then I moved to finance. So how has the things changed? How was the atmosphere at that time, 2007, 8, 9, and what is different today in 2010?
So, I don't have the first-hand experience, but from what I like, what I'm telling the information after this regarding that. So what I heard, like for example, I heard packages which this so-called truck companies like TCS, Infosys offers for fresher um, as of now, and I try to compare it with what the packages they were offering when I was fresher. Like I was fresher in year 2005, and at that time it was some bracket was like 2.5 to 3.6. So 2.5 was considered to be like average. Some companies used to offer even 1.8 lakhs per annum. 1.8 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs was like average, and if someone gets 3.6 lakhs, it used to be considered as, oh, he got the a
To start.
significantly better package sort of thing. And if we look at those numbers today, like one of my friends was telling that maybe someone from his circle got placed recently, and those numbers are still on the same ballpark range.
Okay.
And if we look at the inflation over this 10, 15 years, that means, effectively this, there is no significant increase in the salaries offered,
Yeah.
which
So
clear.
which means that there is too much of supply. There's too much of supply,
Mm.
and yeah, maybe work also. You have work also, and you have supply also. But is it sustainable? Like the last 20-25 years, is it going to be repeated in India? That's the point. You see the same kind
Uh,
of
it
growth.
it it cannot be right because I remember like when I was fresher, maybe it was like 30 engineering colleges in India. I don't know, maybe today it could be like 80 or 100. Not in India, sorry, in Pune it was like 30 colleges, engineering colleges in Pune, and today it could be 80, 100. I'm not sure how many they have right now, but at that time I remember, like if you are in like top 5, 10 colleges, then by default you will at least if you are graduated in this top 3, 4 engineering departments, then by default you will get some job offer, either campus placement or off campus. It was not that difficult to get a job for an engineer. But like recently I have seen this observation in my circles, like even for an engineer, it becomes hard to get a job if you're not from reputed college, because there are so many colleges, as you said, like there is too much supply, and basically then you have to do something extra apart from normal engineering degree to prove that you are, different from the crowd, and then you will get some bonus points for it and get the offer.
So if we shift back our focus to the people who are already employed, like people who are in their uh, like in the range of, let's say, age range of 28 to 35, who have already started their jobs. They are 3 to 4 years experience right now. So
Mhm.
what is their future? I'm talking about the whole bunch. I'm not talking about the only skilled ones, but I'm talking about lakhs of people who are having a 3 to 4 years of experience right now. How does their career go from here? How is it going to, how do you see that happen? Because obviously, if you look at the whole pyramid structure you were talking about some time back, obviously at the bottom there are like lakhs of people, and then slowly it will become smaller and smaller as they progress in their career, right? They will.
Mhm.
So where will everyone go? That's the point I'm trying to
So
get.
what I noticed, like even I feel like concerned about Indian economy is like everyone is trying to get into IT. It's not like The economy is basically, you know, there are different contributors to the economy, and all sectors are contributing to the economy. So, like even our education should focus on, this holistic picture and should contribute to different sectors in the economy. And even those who are in IT sector, I think they should think about it and maybe consider like maybe after a few years maybe move out of IT sector as Manish sir did already, like from IT he moved to finance. Maybe even for IT engineers, it's after gaining
But,
some
but
knowledge in
that's
IT they can move to different sectors.
but that's very easy to say. That's not going to happen at a mass scale. Maybe out of 100 people, one or two
No,
or
but
three people.
if some people will do it willfully and
Uh-huh.
some people will be forced to do it. Because if you're laid off and if you don't get a job offer for let's say 1 year or 1.5 years, then you will think of something and okay, let me do
So
something else.
yeah, so what you are saying is that at the top there is just a place of maybe 10 people, and there are maybe 150 contenders for it or 200 contenders
Mm,
for it. So
yeah.
only the top people will definitely fit in that 10 position, and rest everyone has to definitely get out of IT sector. Forcefully that will happen, or they will just settle at
Yeah.
a
So
lower position. They will have to settle at a lower position where just getting some.
but yeah, so what I realized is like I don't know about other sectors, but in IT, especially in India, what I notice is it's also hard to remain, settled at lower position. Even if you say that okay, I'm 10 years experience
Mhm.
or and I'm ready to get the salary of 5 years experience.
Yeah, yeah.
After 2 3 years, they might say that you're not as productive as 5 years experience guy. Then it becomes really challenging because the new graduates or like the young people with 5 years experience will have a sort of more energy and they will have less pressures on the family front maybe, and they can deliver faster than you. And then even if you have more experience, you cannot justify the higher cost for you from the company. So basically, for value addition, you have to either move up the ladder or do something different.
And
Either you do the skill upgrade or you move up the ladder, like you become instead of individual contributor, you go to a management layer or
is it
architect layer or
is it
something.
also true for people who are out of India? Like you are working in Berlin, you are in IT. We have a lot of clients who are in IT sector out of India. They are working in US or Australia or some other places. Is your view same for people who are out of India and in India? Is it same?
No, I would say India more like as you said, like in Indian market right now there is more supply, and that's why there is the true competition. Whereas actually I don't have much exposure on
Okay.
the US market, so I will talk about Europe.
Yeah. You
But
can talk
in
about.
Europe,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so in Europe or in Germany, I see like supply is less than the demand. So we have
Oh,
many job offers
great.
and less supply from local engineering students.
That's good.
And that's why there is an opportunity for experienced candidates. And even I have seen many candidates are now moving like after 10 years experience, 12 years experience. Actually, at that stage of life, it's hard to, move your entire family to a different city and relocate into a different country.
So,
But still, many people are considering that option because maybe sometimes they realize that, okay, it will be harder for us to, stay relevant, or it could be like, yeah, for whatever decisions they make, basically either they force it or they are forced to do it, but they are doing it to adapt to this challenge. At least my perception.
yeah. And uh, one of my friend, she's working in Bangalore, and
Mm-hmm,
she was telling me that she's at a stage in life where she does not want a job which is too demanding. Okay?
mm-hmm,
And she's ready to compromise on salary. So she's ready to work at a little lower salary. And she has not changed the job from last 10, 13 years. She's working in the same company. And she has not upgraded herself in a way that she has not learned too many skills. She was just too comfortable in her job and just working, going with the flow. And now she's at a in a situation where her growth has not happened the way it should have happened, right? Because the company took it for granted that okay, she's working and she's not demanding too much in salary raise,
Yeah.
so it's fine. And now she's in a situation where she's very very stuck. She told me this word she used, that she feels very very stuck because she can't move to another different company because they are demanding too many technologies and too much skill which she does not have, and maybe she's not ready to upgrade because of the life situation. And now she wants a job where some back end job, some testing job. This is what she used, where it is less demanding and even if it pays less. So do you feel, what do you feel of that? Like, I just want to comment on what do
I
you think?
feel like many people want to do that because, like in early days of your IT career, you have accumulated some money or corpus, and at later stage, you can say that now enough of money I have, achieved enough for satisfying my basic financial goals,
Yes.
and now I no longer need like a higher salary. What I need is peace of mind because maybe after 10 15 years of IT career, maybe you are stressed out and maybe you are ready to settle down on, a lower salary. But the thing is, I think IT sector in itself, I think at least in India, it's hard to get such an offer
Okay.
because,
Again, there is also another too much of competition, right? There are people who are ready to work at lower salary. So even this is
yeah,
not.
exactly. Exactly. So, since supply is higher, it's very hard. If you, let's say, compare it with the local market here in Europe,
Mhm.
I mean, then it will be easier for you to negotiate on, let's say, instead of 8 hours, you can say, I will work only for 6 hours. I mean, again, it
So
will be harder, but practically it is at least possible to do this. I can't think of, happening this thing into reality when if someone is trying this in India. There will be some exceptions, corner cases, but in general it will be hard to negotiate on such terms in India. Like no one can in the interview or after interview, like once you're getting the offer, you can convince the company saying,
yeah,
is it okay for you if I work for 6 hours instead of 8 hours? People
yeah,
will, oh my god, what you're talking about? Like
yeah.
even if officially it's 8 hours, other
Yeah.
people are working for 10 hours and you're talking about 6 hours, you're not committed to your job.
Mhm.
Maybe goodbye.
So let's look at general statistics. If we take 100 software engineers, I'm just referring to software, like referring the word software engineers. Not everyone is software engineer. Someone is system engineer. Someone is to totally different domain. But let's just refer to everyone as software engineer. Out of 100 people, I would say 5 or 10 are extremely skilled and really they know what they are doing, and maybe 20 are non-performers, like they are bad at their work, and rest all of them are somewhere in the middle, right? They are just okay, right? Is that understanding correct? It is true for any other field, right? Not just IT, but in any field. I mean, there is some 5 ten
Yeah,
percent people who are very good,
yeah. I mean,
and
definitely there is sort of a bell curve, and there will be some top
yeah. So
performance, some bottom
true,
performance. But
true.
yeah, I don't have
So
the exact numbers to say the split, so I
yeah,
won't
yeah.
comment on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just assume that this is the case. So are we saying that it is more easier for top 5-10% people? They will not face too much of issues. They will have a stable career path, and they will be, maybe they
No,
will be able to.
even for 5-10% like top performance, I think it's basically it's not like they won't face the issues. They will also face these issues, but they will be able to cope up with those issues and move forward. For others,
Yes.
it will be very difficult to move forward.
Yeah. So that's a majority, right? Out of 100%, that's the big section, 60-70% who is going to
Yes,
face a
yes.
lot of career challenge at an age of 40-45. Like from
Huh.
that, it's going to be extremely tough. So,
Mhm.
okay, I got this point. Let's come to finance a little bit, even though I didn't want to discuss that, but I'm tempted to discuss. I see a lot of IT folks being too much into, EMIs when they are in their 40s. Like someone, I see a lot of, like a lot of our clients, sorry. I see a lot of people, they are heavy on loans. They have taken a home loan, a lot of times two home loans. And when they are in their 35 or 40, they have a big home loan which they have to serve for next 15, 20 years. So from what we discussed, I think that's a big mistake, right? You have to be low on the commitment side, EMI side, and as soon as possible, you should be able to accumulate much wealth by the time you are 35 or 40. You have to focus from that angle,
Yes, I agree, but I think it's actually there should be some awareness regarding this that it will be hard for IT sector employees to continue till age of 60 or 55,
right?
or they will be forced to take early retirement. Right now, what they do generally is like first thing is because of peer pressure. If someone else from your team has bought a new giant flat, you will be tempted to do the same.
Yeah,
Other thing is, I think mainly for tax exemptions,
yeah,
people think too much on tax and feel like, oh, if I buy the home, then I will get some exemption because of
true.
EMIs, and that is one of the other reasons why they do it. And third reason is when banks are offering loan, they will consider, okay, we are ready to give you loan for let's say next 15 years.
Yeah,
And then these
and
people think that, okay, if they are ready to give us, then I will be ready to repay for next 15 years. But they
yeah,
don't think of this factor saying, in whatever sector we are working, whether I will be relevant for next 15 years or not.
true. And it is going to be not in your favor, right? I mean, you take a loan, you pay a lot of interest in the first 5, 10 years, and suddenly your career is not moving as expected, and your job is gone, and suddenly you have to sell the flat, right? To make sure that you fix things, and then eventually you will be in loss. So what? So you took the home loan thinking something else, that everything will be great, but it does not turn out very well because you did not think too long, right? It was a very short-tempered, short-term decision.
But short term, I would say rather than short term, it's more like they don't have much, long term visibility. No one explained
That's
them
what
that
I'm saying.
this will be their impact. So,
And
uh,
I'm not talking about the first home. I understand one home loan has to be taken, the first house. I'm mainly talking about the second house and third plot, and yeah, you got my point.
and yeah, one more thing is maybe because you know, if you look at let's say, I mean, recently, if you look at real estate in general, it's very slack. There is no much appreciation. But let's say 5, 10 years ago, it was
Yeah,
a very, attractive sector to invest into, and that's why, even our parents generally, that their generation always,
yeah,
they don't recommend any, stocks or mutual funds. They try to, if you have some surplus money, invest in,
yeah. There
real
is.
estate.
You're referring
So
to the family
some
pressure,
sort of,
right? You're,
yeah,
you're referring to family
yeah,
pressure, and if you have to
exactly.
real estate, you will be more socially. It will be more better, and people will
No,
recognize.
no, not just socially. They believe that real estate is sort of safe mode of investment. And if someone has a surplus money, they will think of, okay, I don't have any clues. I have some 10, 15 lakh surplus
I see that.
from my salary. What should I do? Okay, take a home loan. I have 15 lakhs, invest
Yeah,
in
yeah.
whatever 10, 20% down payment, and other 80% will be given by bank, and then I will have home loan and I will get some rent out of it or
Yeah. So to
have any
conclude,
bigger
I
profit.
get, yeah, I get your point. So the point I was referring to, if you are in IT sector, then you have to plan your finances very carefully since the starting. You need to have this mindset of, doing your wealth creation as soon as possible, whatever is possible. You have to have that mindset that by the time I'm 35, 40, maybe 40, 35 is too early, but by the time I'm 40 or 45, I should have enough wealth which should start generating some cash flow which can meet my expenses, because if my career is not going fine and if I have to face early retirement, it is it is a more stable position. And
But main problem I see in this is, we don't have enough data points to prove that this is going to be the case. So it will
so,
be hard for anyone to believe that, okay, like, I will be forced to retire at the age of 45 or 50. They will be like, oh my God,
so,
I have seen retirement till 60 or 55. Why should I plan my retirement for age of
so truly
50?
speaking, I think most of the people who are in IT, they get this point. Everyone is aware about this and they believe this, because if I do some poll on our Telegram group or on Twitter, we get this, that people are seeing that the new retirement age, at least for IT sector, is going to be 50, if not 60 or not 45, definitely 50 is the new retirement age. So people get this point. I don't think there are too many people who do not believe. Yeah, but they are not able to, plan their actions right now with this mindset, because we all take action in a very short term view, so we don't plan
Yeah.
it in a better. But then it is going to impact them, right? Once they're in their 50s, they're going to regret this a lot. That I should have done something else, or I should not have taken that extra home loan, and I should have focused on more liquid wealth creation rather than like they have wealth but on paper, on stuck into real estate, and they're not
Yeah,
able to sell.
maybe I can quote an example from my friend. I think similar situation. I don't disclose the name, but it was like, husband wife, both of them were working, and yeah, they had like every month they used to have like huge surplus, in their account,
Yeah.
and they were clueless. Like, okay, what can we do?
Mhm.
And they got a new flat in Bangalore. Earlier, they had one flat, but
Yeah.
they decided to move to a bigger house, 3 BHK house. And now their EMI, I'm not sure, but maybe it's somewhere 60, 70,000 per month. And when both of them were working, it was fine. Like, they could manage that. But now, because of some family issues or for some reason, uh, the spouse, like the wife, had to, basically, she left the job.
Yeah.
I don't know whether forcefully or willingly, but now
Maybe
she's
because of
no
the
more
kid.
working.
Okay. It
Yeah,
happens a lot because of the kid.
yeah, maybe I don't know. Like, it's their personal
Yeah.
decision.
True.
But now suddenly it's like their family income has become half,
Yeah.
and now this, paying this 60, 70,000 EMI is a big burden on them.
Yeah. True.
And now they have already moved into this 3 BHK and they're used to
Yeah.
this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
society, maintenance itself is like 5,000 rupees per month. It becomes,
Yeah. It becomes
uh,
almost impossible once you upgrade to a certain lifestyle. It's extremely tough to downgrade. That's another topic in itself.
yeah.
Right. So, what is the conclusion? Like, we are towards the end of the video. How do you want to conclude this? That someone who is in IT, what should be their mindset? What will you tell your younger self? If you go back and you have to tell something to your own self when you had 3 or 4 years of experience, what you have told?
So first thing is, like, yeah, 3 to 5 bracket experience is like a very crucial period for your career. It will have, significant impact on your future career. So please, make right choices during that experience stage. And
What do you mean?
financially,
What do you mean by right choices? What are the wrong choices people make?
so typically at 3 to 5, we should, foresee our next steps. Okay, like, how do you want to grow in your career? Whether you want to, move up the ladder, like you want to go into managerial path or whatever, or you want to invest more on technical side of things, like learning new technologies or keeping yourself relevant for the technologies and things like that. So at least to me, that is like, you know right choices from the career perspective. And from financial perspective, I feel like yeah, try to avoid this mistake, like just taking things for granted that I will retire in IT at the age of 60 or 55.
Yeah.
As Manish has already, said, like in the polls, already many people are saying, maybe 50 is the right age or 45 is the right age, but people don't consider that during financial planning. So maybe, yeah, it will be better if, especially while deciding on these big decisions like buying new house or something, just don't consider just the current scenario. Okay, I have 10 lakhs in my bank account and what should I do now? Think about the long term, like if I do some major commitments, will I be able to serve to it in longer term?
Yeah, and it's not about just serving. Maybe they are able to serve, but once you move towards the age range of 50, 60, what happens is a lot of your net worth is locked in real estate. That is what happens. And you're left with very little liquid net worth. That is the problem. And once money goes into real estate, trust me, it's at the time of planning things there, people feel that I'll sell it after some years and I'll sell it once I
Yeah,
retire. But that
actually,
does not happen.
personally, even I could tell you, like, when I bought my flat somewhere in 2014,
Mhm.
I thought, okay, like, it's a growing phase at that time because earlier, like, 3-4 years were very good for real estate. And then after 3-4 years, I thought, like, now I'm no more in that city. Like earlier, I used to be in Bangalore, and
Where,
then I moved to Berlin. It becomes hard to manage the
where
properties
where have you
remotely.
where have you bought the flat? Where, which city?
Bangalore.
Okay, which area?
It's in Hormao, so near Outer Ring Road, near Manyata Tech Park, basically.
Okay, okay.
But so after 3 years, I was like, okay, now it it is very challenging to maintain the flat remotely. So I want to just sell it off. But after 3 years, I could not even get the buying price, and that was big frustration for me. Like, okay,
It is. I think it is a very big dampener because generally we say that okay, I'll buy it for let's say 60 lakhs and real estate goes up by 10, 15% every year and I'll set the it 1 crore. People have this feeling, but when you go to buy the buyer, like you get it by the reality that no, it is all.
and now it's, because of COVID, it's practically vacant for last 7-8 months,
Oh
and
my
now it will be even harder for me to sell it out right now because now it's even, 5 years old property. Yeah. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think now there will be like a price
Hmm.
depreciation sort of
Yeah.
thing. So,
And people want to buy a new apartment, flashy new apartment.
exactly.
Nobody, like very few people are interested in buying older
The
and
same goes
forget
for car, right? Just what I heard in one of the articles, like the moment you
buy.
run car out of the showroom, the price is dropped by 5-10%.
I'll tell you one thing. One of my friend, one close friend, he bought Skoda Yeti. This car, right? Skoda Yeti. He bought it for how much? 19 lakhs or 18 lakhs. I don't remember the price. And he sold it in just 1 or 2 months after buying because he was moving out to US, and he had to sell it for 16 lakhs. Like he got a hit of 2.5 lakh because obviously the power is not in your hand; it is in the buyer's hand. Yeah. That's important. Okay, good to you shared that your case of real estate because people should know about these cases also because we generally hear this positive stories around real estate that someone bought it for 50 lakhs and sold it for 1.5 crore, but we don't hear these stories, the negative sides. Okay, I think okay, Devendra, I think it was a very good discussion
Yeah.
and thanks a lot for sharing your views. Apart from like we started with the IT and the new retirement age and the challenges, but then we moved towards the personal finance. And but I think that was good because it's a very important part because both are linked, right? We're talking
Mhm.
this because it's going to impact your finances. Good, it
Mhm.
was not planned, but we shifted. So thanks a lot. Thanks, Devin, for sharing your views.
Yeah.
I really
Thanks a lot
appreciate
for this chat. It was a very nice conversation. And yeah, maybe, yeah, I think some of it would have been like derailed information, so you can cut down
it. No,
that.
no, no. It was all fine. Like, everything was
Mhm.
valuable.
Mm.
Okay, thank you.